Shakespeare famously wrote, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women are merely players in it." This is a good piece of insight for leaders to remember as well. A big part of leadership is understanding the theatrics related to leadership. Now, I'm not talking about surrounding yourself with all the bells and whistles and trappings of authority. I'm talking about understanding the character you are playing in other people's minds. I'll share an example. I had a client a while back who was really skillful, very effective, and he was being promoted from director level to vice president. Now, he was a guy from a fairly humble origins. He was humble himself in his personality style, right? He was not somebody who liked to put on airs, as he would say. He had a tendency to just refer to himself as, "Oh, I'm just Jim." Okay? Now, the challenge is that in other people's eyes, he was somebody important. He was the vice president of their function. And even though he saw himself as just one of the folks, when he walked through the office, people sat up straighter, right? They paid attention. They observed what he was doing, kind of like the Kremlin watchers of old who would look at pictures and try to understand what was happening behind the scenes. Leaders need to understand that this is what's happening when they reach a certain level. People have expectations of them that may not match with the leader's self-perception. Now, again, I'm not suggesting that the leader should inflate their sense of worth, but they need to understand that the people that report to them need to see them as an authority figure. Okay? We all have kind of a little child inside of us that's looking up to authorities for direction, for support, to help us build confidence. And the leader needs to understand that. So it's important for every leader to understand, how do I play both the authority role and the approachable role at the same time? Now, this can be tricky, right? It's not easy to do. But what I always encourage people to do, rather than follow the specific advice of somebody like me, is to do a best practice analysis. Look at the leaders around them that seem to have this combination of qualities of a sense of authority and yet approachability. Start to pay attention to what those leaders do and look for behaviors that you can incorporate into the way that you interact. It may be something as simple as standing up straighter when you walk through the halls. It may be as simple as limiting the amount of time you spend in social activities with your subordinates. It looks different from everybody, and whenever you are identifying your leadership persona, you have to make sure that it fits you. So look for role models, see what seems to work for them that would feel comfortable for you, and start adopting some of those qualities.